This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Time right now is 4:27 here on your Thursday morning. We do want to thank you for starting your day early with us here on RTV6. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. We begin with a story that is so hard for so many of us to believe. A woman walking her dog discovering a baby left in a plastic bag.
Yeah, and thanks to this woman, she took action and got emergency crews to the scene so that baby could get treatment and be taken to a hospital. The baby was still alive when she found the baby wrapped in this plastic bag. So this baby is just on the side of the road here near where she was walking, near this fence. Right place, right time. A blessing,
yes,
really.
Yes, and a mom herself, so
yeah,
the perfect person to discover this baby.
So we're going to actually be talking to the family who made this discovery, something a lot of people are going to want to see this morning. Well, another story we unfortunately have to share with you is it was a violent night here in central Indiana, right here in the Circle City. In just a span of 2 hours, 6 people shot.
Yeah, that includes 3 people who were shot in the 3000 block of Capitol Avenue. A man was killed on Edgemere Court, and 2 more women were shot. We are uncertain of many of those folks, those victims' conditions right now, but a busy span for police. And just once again, you know, another night of violence across the Circle City, something that we're sure probably to hear from leaders about today, because this seems to be such a consistent problem here.
And of course, we'll be keeping you updated as we learn any suspect information or anything from police that they need you to help with in these investigations. If you see or saw any, or see or heard anything, rather. We do want to bring in our own Alyssa Donovan right now, talk about the forecast today. It's chilly out there this morning.
Yes, it's a cool start. A lot of us are starting in the low 40s this morning. Some spots are in the 30s. We have a patchy frost advisory for areas to extreme north. So a very cool start today. Those temperatures right now in Indianapolis, 41 degrees. We're going to climb a little bit warmer than we were yesterday, but not too much. We'll be into the upper 50s. We'll see a mixture of sun and clouds throughout the day. That is below normal, though. Usually we're in the mid and upper 60s still this time of year. We still have that northwesterly wind helping usher in that cooler air as well. So you are going to need the jacket this morning. Some of you, if you're sensitive to the cooler air, you might want it as you head through the day too, because it is going to be still below average. The good thing is we are going to start a warming trend, and we're going to continue to climb into the low 70s by the weekend.
All right. Thanks, Alyssa.
Well, we do want to talk about Thursday. It is throwback time. The Jackson 5. You probably remember this group, but if you were around here in Indianapolis 40 years ago, you may have seen them in concert, and we're going to be bringing you back to when the Jackson 5 was live here in the Circle City. Pretty fun video here. Gotta love the costumes and the outfits back then. We'll have that story plus more news, weather, and traffic coming up.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Coming up on Good Morning Indiana, 3 firefighters were injured while fighting an apartment fire in Lawrence. What we know about the fire that displaced multiple families.
And the family that found a baby left abandoned in a plastic bag, now telling their story. What they're saying about that shocking discovery.
Plus, the end of the picket lines could be near for GM workers who have been on strike for more than a month. What is being offered in the tentative contract deal? 4:30 on your Thursday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrick.
And I'm Lauren Casey. We have Alyssa Donovan with us this morning talking about our forecast. And Alyssa, I got in my car this morning. Felt a little chilly, so I waited
to turn on the heat.
Turn on the heat and wanted to see what the temperature was. I was very curious. And it was in around 44 at my house.
Yeah, so 44 at your house, so a little bit warmer to the south. We're about 40 degrees here in Indianapolis right now. And then it's a little cooler to the north in the 30s. And a lot of us are going to see those temperatures drop a little bit yet this morning. And that's just because we have those clear skies. 41 right now in Indianapolis, 37 in Lafayette and Crawfordsville. So a few cool spots on our map this morning. We're going to continue to see those temperatures drop off a little bit yet. We have high pressure building in behind that system that moved through yesterday. That's going to continue to bring us those cooler temperatures today. We have this northwesterly wind helping usher in that cool, dry air. So as we head through the day, we're going to start with those clear skies, and then we'll see a little bit more cloud coverage throughout the day. Really a mixture of sun and clouds throughout your Thursday. Those temperatures climbing a little bit higher than we were yesterday. Yesterday we were in the low 50s. Today we'll be into the upper 50s with a little bit more sunshine by the afternoon. But overall, a little bit of a cool day again. The good news is we are warming up as we head through the 7-day forecast. All of those details coming up.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. A traffic alert for drivers on the south side of Indianapolis as you're heading southbound on I-65 this morning between I-465 and Southport Road. We do have two lanes under road construction at this hour. You'll see a police officer there near I-465 warning you of what's ahead, so you'll need to take it slow and watch for workers. You can see the right side of our screen right here is the interstate, so everything is still moving through that area. Just use caution. Let's take a turn right now up to the north side. This is I-465 and Keystone Avenue. We do have that police emergency vehicle there in the median of the road, so just use caution, but overall no major issues here to slow you down. New this morning, 3 people are recovering following a shooting on the city's north side.
Emergency crews responded to the 3000 block of Capitol Avenue around 11 last night. When they arrived, they found 3 people with gunshot wounds. The victims were taken to the hospital, and we are still waiting to find out their conditions this morning. Police have not released any information about a possible suspect.
And a homicide investigation is underway after a person was found dead on the northeast side of Indianapolis last night. Metro Police were called out to the 4100 block of Edgemere Court on reports of shots fired just before 10 o'clock p.m. when they found a person dead. Police have not released any information about the victim's injuries at this time, but anyone with any information on either of these investigations, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS.
Investigators are still trying to figure out what caused a late-night apartment fire in Lawrence. The massive fire started around 8 at Mason Gardens near 42nd and Post Road. Several people called authorities saying flames were coming from the roof. 3 firefighters were injured. They have all since been released from the hospital. A woman was also reported missing during the fire, but she was safely located. At least 8 families are impacted by the fire.
It still goes through my head all like 24/7. The image of the little baby's foot pressing against the Walmart bag.
I don't know. I try not to judge, but there's way better ways of handling not being able to take care of a baby.
This morning, a newborn baby found in a plastic bag Tuesday afternoon in Seymour is alive and doing well. Now the family who found her sharing the story of their shocking discovery.
It was Angela Butler who discovered the baby hidden beneath a tree while walking her dog. She says the dog began sniffing around until they got to a plastic bag and she realized a baby was inside. In disbelief, she says she went to grab her son Jesse and her phone to call 911 to get that little baby help.
I told my boys, I said, go with me to make sure that I'm seeing what I'm seeing. And we fixed it. I had Jesse pick it up, and sure enough, it was a little newborn baby. Wrapped up in a blanket. The blanket was covered his face and tied up in a Walmart, double knotted, tied up in a Walmart bag.
It's just something I never thought I'd see in my life. So it's like really hard to believe. Someone just tied a baby up and left it outside. That baby more than likely would have froze to death. It was cold out.
Angela says she just wrapped the baby in her arms while waiting for emergency crews. Seymour police announced yesterday that they have identified and made contact with the person they wanted to speak to in connection to the case, but we are still waiting on an official update on the investigation. Officials are also reminding everyone that baby boxes are a safe and anonymous way to surrender a child. There are 14 baby boxes located across Indiana.
Time right now is 4:35. Metro Police want to know if you recognize this car. Investigators say that it's stolen and it's connected to a double homicide on the south side. We've been following this case since last week after someone shot and killed 2 people outside of Southport Crossing Apartments. The car is described as a 2004 Monte Carlo cherry red with 2 doors, a license plate number 485RIV. If you see this vehicle, please call 911.
A high-profile trial in Fulton County is expected to continue today and could possibly go to the jury by tomorrow. Alyssa Shepard faces several charges in a crash that killed 3 siblings at their bus stop in Rochester. It happened almost 1 year ago. 7 witnesses took the stand on Wednesday, including the mother of the victims. She testified about the moment she saw her 2 sons lying in the road and her daughter in a ditch. Defense attorneys did not question question her.
At 4:36, Marion County is now using a law that brings more intensive punishment for people who supply drugs that result in a fentanyl overdose death. Prosecutor Ryan Mears says that his officer filed one of those charges for the first time this week against a man accused of dealing fentanyl and heroin. The charge of dealing in a controlled substance resulting in death was enacted by Indiana lawmakers back in 2018. It carries a potential penalty of 20 to 40 years.
The end to a month-long strike for General Motors workers could be in sight as they reached a tentative contract agreement. Bargainers for the UAW and GM reached a tentative contract deal yesterday. The strike has shut down factories across the country, including several in Indiana. Details surrounding the deal have not been released, but officials say this deal offers major gains for workers, including pay raises. 2 union committees still need to vote on it, though. Then it needs approval from members.
At 4:37, Indigo's Red Line has been open for a little more than a month already, and now residents are talking about the Blue Line, even though this project is still 3 years away. At a packed community meeting last night on the west side, the residents there expressed their concerns about seeing Washington Street transformed into a road with a bus lane in the center. They say the bus lane would make a single lane for cars stretching from Cumberland Road on the east side to the airport on the west. Brandon Evans from Indigo says that's not exactly the design.
Yeah, there's different segments along the Blue Line. It is a very large project, right? It runs almost county line to county line on Washington Street, and so there's different sections of it. Part of those sections do have dedicated lanes.
Construction on the Blue Line is set to begin in 2023 after the construction of the Purple Line starts in 2021.
One of the biggest high schools in Indiana does not have sidewalks in front of it, and now parents are making a push to change that.
Someone's going to be killed. On 10th Street specifically, there are several apartment complexes where students, children, families cross directly across the street jaywalking, which isn't ideal, but just trying to get to groceries or convenience stores. And we have the same issue here on Girls School Road where people are crossing where they can, as safely as they can, but it's a big risk.
Jennifer Witt lives across from Ben Davis High School. There are no sidewalks along Girls School Road right in front of the school. She's trying to raise awareness about the dangers of walking in that area. Working for You, RTV6 took the issue to Councilor Jared Evans, who has successfully pushed for other sidewalk projects.
One of the things that we are looking at doing is a Girls School Road project, and that's a reconstruction and adding a sidewalk. Currently, that is projected to go from Perimeter Road to Rockville Road. However, State Representative Carly Macer and I are both working with the city to extend that further up to 10th Street.
We also talked to the Department of Public Works. DPW says it shares the community's concerns, and Girls School Road from 10th to 21st Streets is already identified as needing a sidewalk, but right now the city does not have the funding. U.S. delegates are in Syria to discuss a ceasefire deal, but lawmakers are still at odds over withdrawing troops from the area. Coming up, why top Democrats walked out of a meeting with President Trump over the issue.
And 500,000 kids could lose their qualifications for free school lunch. Still ahead, what the USDA says about the changes to food assistance programs. Alyssa.
And it's going to be a cool start to a very cool Thursday. Temperatures below average today, but we do start a warming trend, and we are going to climb into the low 70s by Sunday. I'll have all the details coming up.
And refined Atlas SE with technology.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 4:43 here on our Thursday, and this is a live look up in Fishers, I-69 here at 106th Street, where traffic is traveling up to speed this morning. Stay tuned, though. We have more construction that could slow you down on your morning drive. We'll detail all of those projects coming up here in my full traffic report.
This morning, a U.S. delegation led by Vice President Mike Pence will be looking to broker a deal to end that crisis in Syria. Pence traveled to Turkey to try to convince Turkish leaders to agree to a ceasefire, but lawmakers here at home are still at odds over Trump's decision to withdraw U.S. troops. ABC's Elizabeth Hur is in New York with details.
President Trump standing by his decision, pulling U.S. troops out of Syria.
Turkey is taking land from Syria. Syria's not happy about it. Let them work it out.
The president also tweeting pictures from a White House meeting on Syria. In one tweet writing, "Do you think they like me?" referring to top Democrats who sat stone-faced before walking out of that meeting.
He was insulting, particularly to the speaker. She kept her cool completely. but he called her a third-rate politician. Go ahead.
What we witnessed on the part of the president was a meltdown. Sad to say.
Pelosi later making one of the pictures Trump tweeted her new Twitter cover photo and claiming the president was shaken by this earlier vote in the House.
On this vote, the yeas are 354, the nays are 60.
House Democrats and Republicans voting overwhelmingly to condemn the president's withdrawal of American forces from northern Syria, a move that cleared the way for a planned Turkish assault on Kurdish forces, a decision facing mounting backlash even from one of Trump's closest allies. Senator Lindsey Graham on CNN.
He will have American blood on his hands if he abandons Kurds because ISIS will come back.
No, Lindsey Graham would like to stay in the Middle East for the next 1,000 years.
Late Wednesday, the White House released this letter President Trump wrote to the president of Turkey, which read in part, "Let's work out a good deal. You don't want to be responsible for slaughtering thousands of people, and I don't want to be responsible for destroying the Turkish economy, and I will."
As for that White House meeting on Syria, White House officials maintained the president was measured, factual, and decisive, and that Speaker Pelosi walking out was baffling, but not surprising. Elizabeth Hur, ABC News, New York.
Time right now is 4:45. Proposed changes to the food stamp program could leave nearly 500,000 children without access to free school lunches. The U.S. Department of Agriculture released the report on Wednesday. The proposed rule change was unveiled in July, and it restricts the policy to make it easier for Americans with slightly higher incomes and savings to receive food stamps. Because of the income adjustment, it would no longer directly qualify children for free meals based on their participation in SNAP benefits.
California is launching a new earthquake warning system on the anniversary of a big quake that hit San Francisco 30 years ago. The magnitude 6.9 earthquake killed 68 people and injured 38 others. It hit during a live broadcast of a World Series game between the San Francisco Giants and Oakland A's. The game later became known as the Earthquake Series. The new statewide warning system will involve a smartphone app that will be released later today. It will be able to send alerts about earthquakes before people can feel them. At 4:46, people will be feeling those cool temps when they step out the door, Alyssa.
That's right. It is a chilly start today, a little cooler than we were yesterday. Our temperatures will climb a little bit more by this afternoon, but we're still well below average. You're going to need a light jacket today, likely throughout the day. So we have this cool, dry air that's really settled into the Midwest. You can see temperatures off to our west in Des Moines and Peoria in the 30s. We're at 41 right now in Indianapolis, but we do have some 30s here in central Indiana as well. 39 in Peru and Tipton this morning, 37 in Lafayette, and 35 in Crawfordsville. Those temperatures continuing to drop off a few degrees yet this morning, and that's just because we've had those clear skies overnight. That's helped us cool down. We are going to see a little bit more cloud coverage as we head into mid-morning, but for the most part, we have that high pressure in control, and it's going to stay that way throughout the day. We have these northwesterly winds that is helping usher in that cool, dry air. We are going to stay dry over the next several days, but then we are going to start a warming trend. So today, to start out, temperatures will be in the upper 30s and low 40s right around 8 a.m. as you head out the door with partly cloudy skies. Then we'll see a lot of that cloud coverage clear out by midday with those temperatures hitting right around 52 degrees by midday. Keep in mind that was yesterday's high, so that's what it's going to feel at noon today. And then we'll climb just a few more degrees by this afternoon, a little bit more cloud coverage moving in this evening. Behind this, we start a bit of a warming trend. So we'll see those temperatures climb a few degrees each day until Sunday when we're back into the low 70s. Our average is usually right around 66 degrees, so we'll be back above average. And then we do have a system that's going to move through on Saturday that could bring us a chance of showers and thunderstorms as we head into Saturday afternoon and evening. Then we'll see a bit of a lull on Sunday before we see our next chance of a more potent system coming in on Monday and Tuesday. That's when we'll see a better chance of those showers and thunderstorms. Today, it's going to be a dry and cool day, starting out with a little bit of cloud coverage. Then we'll see that clear out by the afternoon. Those temperatures starting in the upper 30s and low 40s, and then we'll be below average right around 57 degrees for our high. Warming up tomorrow, we'll be into the low 60s with mostly sunny skies, and then that stray shower possible on Saturday, maybe a thunderstorm in there as well as those temperatures continue to climb. Sunday, that's our lull day for the weekend, where we see mostly sunny skies, 72 for the high. Monday and Tuesday, that's when that next system comes in. Temperatures dropping back into the low 60s midweek.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Let's take a live look at right now up on the north side of town. This is our INDOT traffic camera at I-465 and Ditch Road, where we have some ongoing road construction. Right now, everything here is quiet. You can see traffic's moving along just fine, both eastbound and westbound here near Ditch Road on the north side. But let's take a look at our traffic now, Matt. We do have some reported construction here at Keystone Avenue on 465. Might slow you down just a little bit. Over here on the east side of town, right lane's blocked for construction along eastbound I-70 near Shadeland Avenue. This should be wrapping up within the next 10 minutes or so. And then here on the south side, Southport Road, that area, we have some road construction as you're traveling southbound on I-65. Starting at I-465, you may notice some delays. So let's take a live look at Southport Road and I-65 right now from our INDOT traffic camera. You can see here near the exit ramp, we do have some crews off in the ditch working. Traffic on the right side of your screen on the interstate is heavier, but it looks like it's still moving along okay. We'll keep an eye on this spot and keep you updated.
Classes for thousands of kids at Chicago public schools are canceled today as teachers begin to go on strike. The strike comes after the House of Delegates rejected the most recent contract from the district. The teachers are asking for smaller class sizes and better support staffing, including counselors and nurses. Educators are planning to picket at the schools and hold a march this afternoon. In honor of Barbie's 60th anniversary, you can now stay in her life-sized dream house. After the break, a look inside the pink Malibu mansion.
And Madison County Metal Trading Facility proposing to expand, all new at 5 o'clock. Why some residents are worried about the plant's impact on their health. But first,
I'm Vinny Politan. Today on Court TV, our continuing coverage of Wisconsin versus Ezra McCandless. Ezra McCandless has been charged in the death of her ex-boyfriend. The defense says it's a case of self-defense, but prosecutors say, no, this is a case of murder. On the stand today, friends of the defendant and the victim. We are live in Wisconsin today on Court TV.
Vinny, thank you. Don't forget you can watch the all-new Court TV live on your mobile device by visiting CourtTV.com. We'll be right back.
1850 Coffee. Begin boldly.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana, 4:55 on your Thursday, and we do have some construction and road work ongoing here on the north side, I-465 and Keystone Avenue. You can see some flashing lights there on your screen. Traffic is still getting by both eastbound and westbound. We'll keep a close eye on this spot and keep you updated.
A new line of spacesuits has been unveiled, and they aren't for astronauts. They are for everyone. Virgin Galactic unveiled the suits for their future space tour passengers. They partnered with sportswear company Under Armour for the new line. They say the royal blue jumpsuits are made from a special yarn to regulate body temperature. It is also lightweight and flight grade. Under Armour says the design was inspired by uniforms seen in sci-fi movies and on TV shows. Virgin Galactic says it could still be months before it launches its first commercial flight.
And on Xenon Girl, the 21st century. That's what they look like, I swear. Well, Barbie's dream house, hey, it's not just a dream anymore, and you now have a chance to stay in this. Airbnb is offering 2 nights in this beachy pink Malibu home. It's all in honor of Barbie brand's 60th anniversary, and on top of the ocean view, some pretty inspirational women will be there too. From pilot and aerospace engineer Jill Myers to Kardashian stylist Jen Atkin. The price tag is just $60 a night. Pretty reasonable. Airbnb will be opening the booking on the 23rd, and the stay is the 29th through 27th through the 29th. 2 days.
And you know what? That's the couple days right before my birthday. So if anyone wants to buy me a ticket out to California and $60, nothing.
That is a good deal for you.
Pot together a couple.
That's pretty nice.
Couple bucks there, and I would definitely do that. I'm big Barbie gal here.
Oh yeah,
I was a big Barbie gal too.
Yes. Poor Todd over there.
Todd's like All right, well, we do want to check it on our forecast today, Alyssa.
So we are starting cool this morning. You guys noticed it as you stepped outside. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s across the area. We'll climb into the 50s this afternoon, so still below average. Warming up as we head into the weekend.